Mavis. Mavis is a diesel engine belonging to the Farker Quarry Company. They brought her to shunt freight cars in their sidings. She is black and has 6 wheels. These, like Toby's, are hidden by side plates. Mavis is young and full of her own ideas. She is sure they are better than anybody else's. She loves rearranging things too and began putting Toby's cars in different places every day. This made Toby cross. Freight cars, he grumbled, should be where you want them when you want them. Fudge, said Mavis, and flounced away. At last Toby lost patience. I can't waste time playing hunt the cars with you, he snapped. Take them yourself. Mavis was delighted. Taking freight cars made her feel important. At Farker she met Daisy. Toby's an old fusspot, she complained. Daisy liked Toby, but was glad of a diesel to talk to. Steam engines, she said, have their uses, but they don't understand. Toby says only steam engines can manage freight cars properly. What rubbish, put in Daisy. You knew nothing about cars. Depend upon it, my dear. Anything steam engines do, we diesels can do better. Toby's line crosses the main road behind Farker Station, and for a short way follows a farm lane. The rails here are buried in earth and ash, almost to their tops. In wet weather, animals, carts and tractors make the lane muddy and slippery. Frost makes the mud rock hard and swells it too, preventing engine wheels from gripping the rails properly. Toby found this place troublesome, so when Frost came he warned Mavis and told her just what to do. I can manage, thank you, she said cheekily. I'm not an old fusspot like you. The freight cars were tired of being pushed around by Mavis. It's slippery, they whispered. Let's push her around instead. On, they yelled, as Mavis reached the stop board. But Mavis had heard about Percy and took no chances. She brought them carefully down the lane and stopped at the level crossing. Their second man halted the traffic while the conductor unpinned the wagon brakes. One in the headlamp for Fusspot Toby, she chortled. She looked forward to having a good giggle about it with Daisy. But she never got a giggle. She was so sure she was right that she'd stopped in the wrong place. In frosty weather, Toby stops before reaching the lane, and while some of his freight cars are still on the slope. This ensures that they can't hold him back, and their weight helps him forward till his wheels can grip again. But Mavis had given the freight cars the chance they wanted. Hold back, they giggled. Grrr, up, ordered Mavis. The freight cars just laughed and her wheels spun helplessly. She tried backing, but the same thing happened. They sanded the rails and tried to dig away the frozen mud, but only broke the spade. Cars and trucks tooted impatiently. Grrr, ugh, wailed Mavis in helpless fury. I warned her, fumed Toby. I told her just where to stop. I can manage, she said. Called me old fusspot. She's young yet, soothed his driver, and she can manage her cars herself. They're your cars, really, his driver pointed out. Mavis isn't supposed to come down here. If Sir Topham had, you wouldn't tell, would you? Of course not. Well then. But, his driver went on, if we don't help clear the line, he'll soon know all about it, and so shall we. Yes, said Toby thoughtfully. An angry farmer was telling Mavis just what she could do with her train. Toby buffered up. Having trouble, Mavis? I am surprised. Gosh, said Mavis. With much puffing and wheel slip, Toby pushed the freight cars back. Mavis hardly helped at all. The hard work made Toby's fire burn fiercely. Then he reversed, stopping at intervals, while his firemen spread hot cinders to melt the frozen mud. Goodbye, he called as he reached the crossing. You'll manage now, I expect. Mavis didn't answer. She took the freight cars to the shed and scuttled home as quickly as she could.